Next on Good Morning El Paso, we won't be seeing any snow today, but the first alert remains in effect for fog and black ice. Everything you need to know, including school closures, up ahead.
Many parents were frustrated yesterday that schools weren't delayed because of the snow. We hear what officials had to say about that decision coming up.
Also, the latest on the Deflategate controversy rocking the NFL, what the Patriots had to say about the cheating allegations.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning, everyone. Take a live look outside, courtesy of our ABC7 Mountain Cam. Can't see much out there, but we can tell you it's very cold this morning.
And yes, that first alert is still in effect. Got to say, you can hear the winds just slightly. And this is a different shot than we've been seeing because it was all frosted over the last few times we had tried to show you this mountain cam shot. So good to see that at least there was an ice on the camera this morning.
That's right. Nice and clear. Good morning, everyone. Good Friday morning, I should say. I'm Hillary Floren.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. It is 6:01, and let's send things right over to Crystal Clyde because, like we've been saying, we're under a first alert, Crystal.
Yeah, guys, we're still under that first alert for a couple of reasons. First off, it's very cold out there this morning, a little colder than we've seen in a while. We are talking temperatures. I'm trying to check over here on the map to see. It's been about 2.5, 3 weeks since we've seen temperatures this low. And Deming, you're at 20, 17 Las Cruces, 19 Ruidoso, and 26 El Paso. Cold enough that we thought we'd warn everyone that this morning you need to really bundle up before you head out the door. On top of the very cold conditions, we're also looking at clear skies. Now, that doesn't sound like an issue, really, but it kind of is. The clear conditions overnight are relying for the possibility of some patchy fog in areas this morning, and also for those very cold temperatures to freeze any moisture that was left on roads yesterday, meaning black ice is possible. Now, on highways, for the most part, you should be fine. But on those smaller side roads or any dirt roads, those areas particularly could see some icy conditions. So just a heads up as you head out the door this morning to drive carefully and keep yourself alert as you're driving, as there may be a few patches that you hit along the way to work. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to talk about that potential for rain, not necessarily today, but in the days to come. That's coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Crystal. Let's talk about school delays first and foremost. We have a list of some places starting late this morning. The El Paso County Courthouse will not open its doors until 10 a.m. Same for EPCC, UTEP, and NMSU.
The El Paso, Ysleta, Socorro, and Canutillo districts and Las Cruces public schools are on a 2-hour delay as well. Fort Bliss also telling ABC7 their first duty call has been delayed to 9 a.m. So far, the only district with no delay is Clint ISD. Again, that's on a normal schedule. We have the complete list online at KVIA.com.
And remember, one of the biggest reasons for the delay, the biggest threats on the road, possibility of black ice.
It's called that because it blends in with street asphalt and can't really be seen. So make sure that you know what to do to stay safe when you head out this morning.
We have Good Morning El Paso's Andrew J. Polk standing by live right now with details on that. And you actually found a little bit of ice out there, didn't you?
Good morning, Hillary and Stephanie. We're out here on the west side, where, as you can see right around me, there are some big patches of ice out here that have formed overnight. This one particularly is pretty deep and easier to spot, but black ice in general is not now always this easy. It's called that because it's the clear ice that forms without any air bubbles in it, so it might just look like a wet patch. And this can obviously create some serious hazards for drivers on the road that may be unaware or careless as they head out this morning. Now, again, black ice is just regular ice, and it doesn't form that often in our area, but when it does, it's often in areas that are either shaded or more damp in the freezing temperatures overnight. And again, the most likely time for black ice to be present is overnight or in the early morning, like right now, when temperatures are at their lowest. And it can be difficult to spot, and it can be very dangerous for those driving without due caution or at a high rate of speed, but you can take steps to keep yourself safe on the roads. And of course, the most important tip for any of this winter weather driving is slow down. It may take you a little longer to get there, but it's worth the caution given the conditions that we've been seeing around here lately. And if you do find yourself slipping on black ice, do not slam on the brakes. That'll just make the slide even worse and could take you into other objects or other vehicles on the road. Instead, keep calm and steer towards where you need to go, and pump the brakes gently if need be, and take your foot off the accelerator as well if you think that you're entering an area where there could be ice or other bad road conditions present. And finally, be aware of those road conditions before you head out. Forewarned is forearmed, and so if you know that there are going to be bad conditions on the road, that'll help you keep these steps in mind. So back out here live right now. Again, ice is out here this morning. It's not everywhere, but where there are patches, there's a big one right here, not too far from our studio here on the west side. So as you're heading out, be careful, stay safe, and of course, keep in mind the road conditions. We've got the travel center on KVIA.com with all of the road conditions you need to know before you head out this morning. So for now, reporting live on the west side, Andrew J. Polk, ABC 7.
All right, thanks so much, Andrew.
And now we're taking a look at our TxDOT traffic cameras at 6:05, looking over in northeast El Paso at US 54 and Van Buren. You can see a lot of snow on the side of the road, but it looks like the roads themselves are dry this morning. Not too many cars there on I-10 near landfill over in West El Paso. Just be careful as you get on the roads. Borderland school districts were scrambling, trying to figure out what to do with students yesterday morning. Even with our first alert issued 2 days before, officials waited to make the calls for early release and delayed starts, which had some questioning the decision.
The other day they canceled school, but nothing happened, and then today it's like a blizzard literally, and they didn't cancel school, so everyone was really upset.
City Emergency Management Coordinator Rafael Reyes says he was closely monitoring the weather at 3:30 in the morning yesterday. Things appeared normal, he says, so he relayed that information to the numerous local school districts. Most schools started on time, as usual, but when things turned for the worst, most districts decided to let students out early to give them extra time to get home. Officials said predicting weather is always a hit or miss situation, so it's hard to get it right.
The Office of Emergency Management says its eyes and ears are on days like yesterday, and the Sun Metro bus drivers, they help them out. Yesterday morning, they alerted the city about icy roads around town. Now that the snow is melted, the attention turning to puddles of water that might have frozen overnight, as Andrew said. Ted Marcus with the Department of Transportation says he has some simple advice for drivers.
Recommend that if you don't have to go out, don't go. Delay, trip to the store until the next day. We expect better weather tomorrow, so if you can wait, delay it.
Road crews have been hard at work since 3 a.m. this morning prepping the city streets, but if you do need to head out right now, just be careful and use common sense. Let's take a live look at the morning commute. Again, this is I-10 and Missouri right near downtown. Traffic moving along at a good clip, just fine. I-10 and Piedras looking good. The interstate I saw for the most part this morning nice and dry out there.
Yes, definitely. All right, well, it may not be snowing now, but the first alert is still in effect.
It sure is. Meteorologist Crystal Clay is here to tell us why.
And we are looking at that possibility of still a few dangerous driving conditions, so we're going to talk more about that coming up after your break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.